There we go. And I am live. Only a little bit behind here, 9:30. Oh, not too bad. Busy, busy, busy. That bando's coming up really quick. Let me see. Who do I got in here? Oh, I can't see my Discord people. Get my Discord hooked up here. See my YouTube people. Come on, Discord. Work with me. There we go. Alright, cool. Now I see everybody. What's up, guys? What do we got tonight? Oh, yeah. Little update. Kind of bring you up to speed on the bando and what I've got going on over here with my new studio build. Taking up some of my time because I'm under the gun to get things done here because everything's got to happen in this next month here. Let's see. Can't hear. Hold on. What's up, Fender? Hey, Fender, type something else in the chat so I can get my ears on here. Hopefully everyone can hear me all right.
Matt Fender typing.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Hear you guys. So yeah, what do we got? We got our live stream quad. We did our first regional qualifier last weekend, and holy cow, the weather cooperated with us, even though the weather report looked like we were gonna get totally rained out. It rained in the morning during setup, and then it was a perfect day. The rest of the weekend was good. The field that we were on was excellent. I think that's basically a brand new soccer field that Park School put in, and man, it was bone dry. I'm guessing they got some legit drainage, and whatever's going on in that field is perfect. It was nice seeing JT and Bull set some pretty killer lap times this weekend. I know they're up on that leaderboard. We gotta get the rest of us up here. I want to set the track up again this weekend, but again, looking at the weather report, I don't know if it improved any, but earlier this week when I was checking, Saturday looked kind of like it might be out, too wet. I haven't been down to the Nike base to take a look at what that field is like. I don't know if it's too swampy still for us to be out there setting up on or not, but I don't know. Hopefully I can take care of that tomorrow. Take a peek at the Nike base and go see the Flying Knights tomorrow night and kind of figure out our schedule for our little weekend races this summer. We've got our quad, I think, but before I get into this little quad here, let's bring up some pictures.
Nitram 1.
Marty, what's up, Marty? Now everybody knows who you are, Marty. You're not just a name in the chat anymore. Yeah, so there, Cramnit Ram. That's Mark Martin. Fender. You guys were able to meet at Fresh Catch Pokey after Maker Fair. All the nerds are united now. Let's see. I'm looking for my little picture drive here. There we go. So anyhow, I've been out working in my barn. I got like a 200-year-old barn on my property, that is filled to the brim with stuff, with tools and what have you. It's basically overflowing. So I'm trying to go through and redo what I got going on out there. Trying to start from the beginning. How are these photos organized? There we go. So anyways, so there we are inside the barn. I basically moved everything out and started gutting this thing down to its old bones. And I know the house is 200 years old, and the barn's got to be up there too. And it's solid. It's those beams are like gigantic in there. And what I'm doing is taking out all the crap wood. There's a hayloft and stuff in there that I was using for storage. And that thing was, like a trampoline. Super bouncy. And she's not insulated. And that's why none of my CNCs are out here. So I do all my woodworking out there. But none of the CNCs are over here because it's not insulated, it's not heated. And that'll do a lot of damage to those machines. So I'm in a hurry to get this thing buttoned up in like the next couple months here, so I can move everything back into this new space here. We're doing 2 floors on this side, and then a third floor in the center of the barn over the really high bay. And I'm going to have the CNCs down on the first floor, and on the second floor is going to be my studio for doing all the streaming and stuff. Move all the computers out there and bring all the cameras out, and I'll be able to live stream everything I got. So I can be on the computer, I can be in Fusion, and then if we want to throw something on the laser, I can walk down to the laser, change cameras. There I am at the laser. We laser something out, walk over to the router. We can cut something on a router. The mill, like everything will be all in the same spot. So the camera can come with me, wander around the shop, and I can live stream everything that's going on out there. So there's a kid knocking the front wall of the barn down for the new entrance that I got put in. It's that old crappy barn door. It fell off its hinges, which made me finally say, screw it. It's time to do this. And well, the barn's full of nice little surprises, like this little nugget that was hiding upstairs in the hayloft for me, behind a door. For some reason, this barn had a collection of like 40 doors and windows. I had to dumpster, and then this guy was hiding behind the last door. That was a nice surprise there. And right now I'm doing the repairs to the footers and stuff like that. So this beam here, I had to lift up the jack up this beam here, or post rather, and then build some cribbing around it to carry that post while I worked underneath it. Dug out the old footer, and by footer I mean a stack of large rocks that the people that built it used. And once I got that all dug out, then I poured a new footer under there, and that's out there curing. And once that's done, then I can set that post back down and remove the cribbing and start the excavation of the old floor. And we're going to do all radiant heating in the slab out there. So a buddy of mine, Kyle, who filmed he was the one filming the behind the scenes for the JT Bring All the Lipo commercial. He came across a screaming hoard find of like 1,000 feet of PEX. So we got a really good deal on some PEX. So after we're done excavating, we lay down the insulation and the mesh and lay out all the PEX for the hot water, and then get the concrete guys to come in and pour that slab. Once that slab's in, then I can frame up and insulate and start moving my stuff over here. Yeah, boy, it'll be nice because I was scrambling earlier trying to figure out where the heck I have everything, because I'm still packed up from Maker Faire, right? So I had some of my tools were out in the trailer from Maker Faire. Some of them were I brought back from the track, and they were still in boxes from the Tiny Whoop track. And some stuff's out in the barn, and some stuff's in my office in the house, and so it's like scramble, scramble, scramble. You can ask Smarky. He'd been over here working on these projects with me, and I spent half my time wandering around looking for stuff. It's not the most productive thing, but hopefully once we got this place done, and I'll have to have somebody help me keep organized. So anyways, I guess while we're in here, we got some pictures of our Maker Faire Tiny Whoops. There's the kid, Minecraft Emerald. He was able to work his way up to 6th place in the points for the season, following me around on Sundays and learning how to fly the Inductrix. That's his now, and I don't know, he's doing really good. These kids, they
Tram 1, will the slab support larger CNCs?
Marty, I was gonna do a 4-inch slab on that side, so I don't know if it would take a huge CNC. The idea would be, because of the limited ceiling height on that side, the side that I'm doing right now, I'm doing it in sections. The section I'm working on right now has a lower ceiling height, so I'm never going to be able to fit too much more, nothing more than a lathe in there. And when I do the middle section, which is the high bay, that slab I want to do a lot heavier and reinforced. There's a 4-inch slab in there right now, and it's broken in a couple spots. So I think if I start rolling in something that something really heavy in there, that's going to be the slab that needs to carry weight. I think these slabs that are off to the sides under the second floor, I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe I should just do the 6-inch slab, because most of the cost of the concrete is in the labor. It's really probably not that much more, a few $100 more to do the 6-inch slab. So I think what is going to determine the thickness of the slab is going to be when we excavate the height to the what do you call it? Not the footer. Maybe it's the footer. I don't know. The first board of the barn. We'll figure out how much we need to backfill with gravel and stuff, and if there's room, maybe we throw in that 6-inch slab. I don't know. Somebody was telling me to do the fiberglass in the concrete. No, as long as we don't care like what the concrete looks like on top, because I guess you see the fibers poking out, what have you, but I think it makes the slab stronger. So I'll see. I'm gonna ask the concrete guy about doing the fiberglass in there. So we got Minecraft. There we got Sprocket. Place with Sprocket in. The pictures are out of order here. I had them in order on the website. Oh, here we go. There we go. Sprocket's in 3rd. Minecraft in 6th place. Lone Star coming in 5th. Sanders in 4th. Heavy, relying heavily on his participation points, but I can always count on Sanders, man. He's always there, helps me set up the track and break down the track. He's there on safety Saturdays, soldering broken wires and stuff like that. So he deserves an honorary first place. And then there's our undefeated champion. Here's Red October. He's got second. So man, he shot up quickly. He just started flying with us, and he's actually some real competition for Benny Mac. Man, he's right on him. Got to keep the pressure up on Benny Mac, our undefeated champion. We need somebody that can take him out, and I don't think it'll be too long before we see that happen. At least indoors. Once we get Benny Mac outdoors, it's a totally different story. Everybody can beat Benny Mac outside. Maybe he should just run his tiny whoop outside. You know what? He might actually do better with it with it that way. It's brushless. It'll take the wind no problem. We got our behind the scenes and stuff going on. Okay, that's good there. All works. One of the things left we gotta do is put a camera in our King of Hearts quad for the live stream, and I was going to use one of these Fox ears. Fox ear is one of our bigger sponsors of the bando, and so they sent me a whole bunch of cameras, and I'm gonna check one of them out. The rest of the cameras all went into bando boxes, which are kind of going out to some of the pilots. I've got a list that gets imported every morning into my ship station, and I go down the list and just kind of draw a name and ship a bando box out every morning. And I don't know, not all of them have cameras in them because I don't have 100 of these things, but I don't know. I sent quite a few of these out, so that's a nice little surprise for some of the pilots. Is they'll get an extra camera. They'll probably need it because that bando is going to be it's not going to be forgiving for those quads, man. So I'm keeping that in mind with the track design too. So I'm going to be nice to pilots. The track's not going to be one of those crazy technical tracks. It's going to be fast. So I guess if you do make a mistake, it's going to cost you, but it won't be such a constant like needle threading exercise. You know, it's going to be a more open flowing track versus a tight technical track. The tighter technical section is going to be the qualifying track, which is going to happen on the skating rinks. One track across two skating rinks, two ice rinks. They're not frozen anymore. They've got a sport court down. But that track is going to be a little bit tighter and more technical, but still. I'm opting for larger gates on that track, not the small 5x5s, but the larger like 10x10, 7x6 sizes like that. So it should be much more fun. So anyways, I was going to check out this camera, and maybe we throw one of these in our King of Hearts. This is a Predator Micro 1000 TV line 4x3, which is perfect for me because I love my HD2s from Fat Shark. No plan for me to go to any other goggle just yet. Of course, I don't do much flying these days. It's all about organizing these races. So this is packed up really nice. There's our little micro in there. If I can actually get it out here. Alrighty. Still have my zoom in here. There we go. Well, there's our live stream discount coupon for everybody that's tuning into the live stream. So check out, if you need a camera, you can head over to Ready Made and grab a camera and get an extra 5% off for live stream viewers RMRC Bando 2018. That's the coupon code that you can use over on their website. Let's see where that is. Off. There you go. Okay, now we can see what we're doing. So, what kind of wiring do we come with here? These are 19 millimeter, right? I think we're looking at the run cam, right? So a 19 millimeter wide camera with this super wide dynamic range Predator. And what do we have? OSD, video, ground, voltage, and voltage sense line. Okay, so this has a built-in OSD that gives you your voltage. Turn that stuff. Able to turn that stuff off. So we got an OSD in here, right? What stack did we go with? I don't even know. This is the Hobby Wing stack in here, right? Right, chat? All right. Got our little Hobby Wing stack. So this is not going to have... No. Does this have OSD? I'm bad. This has video in and video out, if I remember,
Fender,
right?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. Yep, video in, video out. Okay. So we have to hit those. Our camera has to make it over to video in. And when we mount the video transmitter, we're going to pick it up on the video out on this guy. Dig in here to get this little flapper do open. Come on. Come on. I don't have any fingernails. Almost there. There we go. That's cool. Nice little package there. Not just a box of loose wires. Metal bracket. One wiring harness. This box of the instructions. We don't need those instructions. There's our screws and our control joystick thingy. Okay. Can we control this thing with the hoojibber with the flight controller yet? Or is that just a different camera? Other camera. Alright, we don't need that, don't need that. We're gonna need some screws and our wiring harness. And potentially a screwdriver. Alright, what do we have going on here? This... Oh, okay. So they give you kind of a little bit of a Y harness in order to get your D-pad hooked up. I was wondering when I saw the 2-pin header on here, where the heck that's supposed to go on the camera, but they break it out for you with this little side wire there. Not too shabby.
Matt Fender, you can, but supposedly on micro cams it's not that easy. You need extra small caps and resistors in the circuit.
Ah. That doesn't sound like something I'm gonna get involved in right away. Okay, what do we got going on here? There's a blue wire here. The heck is it connected to? Nothing. It's kind of floating here. Alright, we got a little bit of problem solving here. Okay. I got 4 wires. No, 3 of them are tinned. One of them has a crimped end on it to go in something. What we got going on here? That. What's this then? Nope. So only this goes in here. Once this plugs in there, it's going to give us all the wires we need.
Then BRTFQ sells the resistor array or whatever pretty cheap.
The resistor Ready to Fly Quads has something like that. It seems like a nice idea,
I always
right?
go and turn the camera off. Then just use a 3-wire connector.
Yeah. That sounds like the right way to go. We'll turn the OSD in off on the camera and just rely on the that Betaflight OSD coming out of the flight controller. Okay. We've got video. What's this blue wire?
Matt
Blue wires
Fender,
are...
You can buy the UART board from RunCam.
The RunCam. Oh, RunCam makes one to interface with a UART off of the flight controller. That'd be cooler for some of my older quads. Okay, I'm gonna take out the wire that goes to the voltage sense pin, because if we disable that, we don't need it. We don't need it flopping around in here. So I'm gonna take that wire right out. Real easy. You just get in there with the razor blade and pull up on one of these plastic fingers, and it releases the wire. There we go. Took that blue wire out. That's the voltage sense. And we're left with OSD. OSD I'm going to leave intact for now so that I can plug that D-pad in, disable it, and then once that's done, that can get cut off. So now I got 3 wires left. Ground, our voltage, and our video. In there. All right. That's going to pop into our little 716 mount. Are we right side up? Yeah. That appears to fit. What kind of camera angle are we going to set this thing up at? If it were me, it won't be very high. CPU mount. Oh, got some messages coming in here. Nope, that's not what those screws are for. They give you a couple screws, and these are definitely not the ones I'm supposed to be using. They got a longer skinny one, and that just disappeared into the hole. Okay, those must be to... No, what the heck are those for? Extra screws for the board? Back of the board? I must have to use these screws. Okay. Those long enough? Ooh, darn. Too short. Too short to get through our TPU mount the way we drew it.
Matt Fender, with small stuff you need more tilt since the motors don't make any power at the bottom. You need to fly higher in the throttle range.
So you think that you're always flying at a higher angle of attack, Fender? Yeah, right, because you're lighter. You're right. With the heavy quads, right, you can still make a lot of forward thrust, even without pitching over as far. There was a debate about that not too long ago, a few months back, right? All right, I might need to get a screw that is just like 1 millimeter longer than that. That's gonna have like half a turn of engagement there. What are these things? Very long. They're 4 millimeter, and it's an M2. It needs to be like a 5 millimeter. I'd hate to go too long and then touch the sensor on the inside of there. Are those holes blind holes? Let's see. This is where you go straight to McMaster. From
Matt Fender,
McMaster.
it's more the motors don't make any power until you reach 40% throttle. Unlike a 2206 or 2207, you have a reasonable amount of power starting around 20%.
Is it the power or is it the weight? That's gonna determine that flying angle. To me, it seems like it's gonna be it's just the weight, the lower weight that's causing you to run a greater angle of attack. I think. Okay, M2. So I'm on McMaster car, McMaster.com, and I'm gonna look for like a replacement screw for this that's a little bit
Matt
longer.
Fender, it's both. If you made more power, it has to be heavier.
I'm trying to think. So if you're heavy, a greater percentage of your thrust has to go downward, right? To carry your weight, right? Which means a lesser of a angle of attack. Versus if you're lighter, then you can put a greater percentage of your thrust into your forward movement. You don't have to have as high of a percentage of your thrust dedicated to keeping you like vertical. That makes sense? Follow me on that one. Let's see, socket head, cap screw. Let's see. I'm gonna sort by thread size so that I can go right to M2. That looks like we can get 5 or 6 millimeter. Do steel, stainless. So they have stainless, one with a hole drilled down the middle. Fully threaded, stainless. Let's see, 100 of them, $10. Or get 316 stainless, 5 of them for $7. Oh, much better deal to do 100 for $10. Do a pack of those and a pack of 6 millimeter. We'll just add those to the shelves. All right, that order in later. Okay, that'll give me my longer screws to get that done. Board mounted back in here. Okay, so that. Boy, I didn't give myself a whole lot of room there, but still fits. Other side of the board and not block USB. Okay, so I'm gonna route my wires this way across the center of the ESC, and then fold my flight controller back down on top. Then we'll be able to bring our wiring harness up. Cut it to length and solder it right there. Give myself just a little bit extra. Take it apart when we're done. Let's see. Checking my side cutters. Be right back. I think they're at my other desk.
Matt Fender, I always hate that McMaster doesn't tell you how much the shipping until basically after the thing has been delivered.
All right, there we go. Voltage. What's the voltage range on this thing? Maybe let's not cut the other wires just yet. I'll cut my video wire and solder that guy down. So that goes the video in. Soldering iron heated up here. Strip this wire. Spec on this thing. What's our voltage range? 5 to 40 volts DC. So we can basically put that thing wherever we want. Question then, is there enough regulator on this little board to run this camera properly? Or should we go right to battery power? Let's see. Marty, where's the regulator on this thing? You're not going to be able to see, are you? Marty, is that a big enough regulator? Oh, McMaster and its shipping? Yeah, that's fun to find out how much that shipping is. Oh. What's impressive is that it's here the next morning. That's why they get my money. Okay. Here. Yep, I'm gonna have $10 of screws and it's gonna be $12 in shipping. Pre-tin that wire. And get a little bit of solder on this pad here. And I guess I'll hit all of them while I'm here. The video in, video out. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Should we power it off of the 5-volt regulator on the flight controller? Or is that something we should power off of the
Matt Fender, I like
ESC?
Fastener Express, but that's mainly because you can get metric 7075 screws.
Oh.
Ben B, what screws do you need again? Matt Fender, I usually power it off the VTX.
Off the VTX? Yeah, good idea. I'll leave those wires long so that we can hit the VTX with those ones. Fastener Express. I typed it in wrong. Okay. Okay, so Fender, you're telling me that they've got 7075, huh? Oh, yeah. I've been here before. Okay. Their prices on this stuff, 2.5. They go down to 2. Metric. Fasteners. Alloy stainless. Up. Aluminum socket head. 2.5. They don't go down small enough. I'm not surprised. It's a pretty tiny little. Oh, nope. I'm wrong. I'm 2s. There they are. One of them. 2x8. 10. They need a little bit of a redesign on this website here. It's no fun. Is there a sorting option of some sorts? No. That's not going to help. I'm going to have to go through there. How do you anodize 7075? I thought it was a little bit too hard to anodize. Or maybe that's why the color is a little bit light.
Matt Fender, no, it's from the 90s.
Yeah, this website hasn't had much of an update, has it? I'm surprised the font is not like a serif font. Are the hyperlinks still blue? Okay. This is good though. If I find a short enough aluminum M2, that'd be the way to go. Not gonna have to crank down and reef on it because it's just going into the side of the camera. Even if it's long, that's fine. Cut them short. Okay. That wire fastened down. So power and ground out to the VTX, right? So all we need to do is put our video line down here. Already I hate wires. I'll tell you that. Why can't this stuff all be wireless? I don't mind soldering. I just don't like wires. Nope. And let's cut these power leads long. That should be there. All right, cool. So now we got our little fox here. And we get some new fresh screws in. Be able to tighten
Matt
it down.
Fender, at least it's silicon wire now.
Yeah. Yeah, screw that other nasty wire stuff that doesn't bend and melts when you hit it with the soldering iron. That stuff. So fun. Okay. Old King of Hearts. Nice. Fresh. Oxier. What is this? Predator Micro? Yeah. Fresh Predator Micro in there. Yeah. This will be our nice little bando quad. Actually, a bando quad should be the next thing we build. Something super durable for the bando. Although, it's a pretty slick looking quad. I think we do something with the, like the front bar. The old front bumper for the bando. We'll have a bando edition live stream. Live stream quad. Sick, right? I'm just getting some messages on my phone here. We got some possibly got a line on some of the Kevlar battery straps for the bando. I'm gonna call them bando bands. I think those are gonna be necessary for the concrete. Have some bando bands. Make sure we get them long enough so that you guys can run 6 cell on them. Right. Okay. Wait till we get our screws in to finish the front camera. And we got to pick out a video transmitter. I sold out of my last video transmitter, so I don't have anything to put in here. Oh, it would have been probably the Furious Stealth at this point, but those guys are actually selling, and I'm out of them. So don't have anything to steal from myself. Put in here. So I don't know if you guys want to pick out the best VTX for this thing, and I'll go and put that on one of the orders, and we'll throw that in here. Otherwise, probably end up being the stealth. It's okay with you guys. Get a good price on the stealth. Well, I think I don't know. I'm open to putting that whatever in here though. If you guys see something you like, let me know and I'll order it. We'll put it in there. Next up, back to SolidWorks here. We were talking about building a hangar at one of the safety meetings. That's one of the things I want for our tiny whoop start finish gate at the bando, to do a cool hangar. So I think maybe the next order of business is just to blast that out real quick, and I'll kind of show you guys how I get stuff ready for the laser cutter. And this is like the technique that I used for building the start podiums that I have. Those start podiums are all laser cut out of 1/4 inch MDF. So super easy to manufacture and to fabricate them. The only thing that was a pain on the starting podiums was that I like filled and primed them and painted them to make them look like they were, plastic or whatever, or metal. Just trying to make them look a little bit nicer. But as far as like the hangar goes, I think we can just keep kind of be a little dirty with it. What the heck is that technique, Marty? What's the technique where you glue a whole bunch of stuff to it, Star Wars style? I just heard AVE talking about that when he was reviewing the Harbor Freight welder. I watched that earlier, and now I can't remember what the heck the name of it. When you glue a bunch of parts from not the kit bashing.
Smarky FPV, sorry
Greeble?
I'm late.
Is that it? Greebles? Did I lose everybody on Greeble? I think that's the word for it.
_kit bashing.
Greebling, right?
Greebling.
Yeah. This is what I want. I want a greebled hangar for our tiny whoops as our start finish gate, with a nice little pocket for the immersion 8-way to sit inside of, facing the ground, so that we're not I don't have to sit there and delete laps from our overhead pilots that are on the loose. So I'm gonna stick to SolidWorks because I know how to tear apart a solid and turn it into all the sheet goods real quick. But I'm gonna start with my big rectangle here. Yeah, greebling.
Smarky FPV and do the Microlux V2 for flight controller, damn it.
Microlux V2 for flight controller? Why, it's easy, right? It's super easy. Okay, so the sheets, I run to Home Depot, I get these sheets of 1/4 inch MDF. They're 2 foot by 4 foot, right? And that fits right in the laser, because my laser bed is 3 foot by 4 foot. I'm gonna throw those full sheets in there. So let's make the best use out of our material as we can, and let's make this just shy of 48, so that we're cutting just inside the material. So like 46. That gives us like an inch on the outside to get the piece centered up into the machine.
Smarky FPV, super easy.
Right? They are easy to set up. Okay, so if we do a 46 by 22 hanger and make this thing like 2 feet deep as well, 22 inches deep. be a cool hanger. Is 18 inches. You guys can fly through 18 inches these days, no problem. All right, let's punch our hole through. I kind of want it to have that Star Wars look to it. So let's see. Putting these lines in here, construction lines to make things easy for myself. Keep everything centered in. Make that like 2 inches, and this will be 3. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Cut that all the way through. Okay. That'll be our start finish gate. You guys will have to fly through that guy. We got a 18-inch by 40-inch opening. No sweat, right? Let's put some cool details in there. So I think they do like these structures that kind of like that, right? Let's say that's like 2 inches wide. Sure. The other way, offset it into our model a little bit. Like that. Yep, that's definitely what they do. Okay, so they get something like that. Let's mirror that across to the other side. Mirror operation across our right plane. And then repeat. A bunch of them. So we're going that direction. And the features that we want to pattern are that one and that one. And we'll put like, I'm going to start with 4 inches in between them. Something like that, right? 5 inches between them. 4 of them sounds pretty good. My spacing got to be 6. Yep, that looks symmetrical. Right? That'd look like a little Star Wars hangar, right? Then you got to do the cutout in the face, I think. Right? They do all those like oval cutouts and everything. Something like that. And then backlight it. Find the midpoint there. And just kind of snap that to the midpoint so it's in the middle of our rectangle there. And oh, I'm extruding when I'm supposed to be cutting. You with me? I think that's kind of the look, right? And we'll do a long one on this face here. And we can backlight these things with some LEDs. That'll be cool. Right? So like these, try to visualize this a little bit. Now I'm gonna take that face, I'll make that face white. So like that lights up. That lights up, right? Yeah. Okay, so now I got to add that to the pattern. I'm gonna just reorder our operations here so that I put them ahead of the mirror operation. Go back in and edit that mirror operation and add those two things to it. Here we go. I just populated across our little hanger there. That I'm thinking, so you got your hanger like that, and then up here I put like a little spot for the lap timer to reside. I'm gonna have to double check the measurements of the lap timer because that is buried inside the race trailer, but I'm gonna say it's something like 6 by 11 by maybe a inch and a half ish. So that would be like the little pocket to rest the timer in. The timer will face down and catch everybody going through our cool hanger. Probably need some overhead lighting too. You won't see that though. We could probably just put the strips across the surface there. I think this is the important thing, is that we like, these are hollow, and inside of them we put some LEDs and a little acrylic lens, like a frosted acrylic lens in there to diffuse the light. And I don't know, that'd be pretty cool. Down with that. Okay, so if that's our little hanger, save this before we get too far. Stream hanger. Okay, so this is our base part. I'm gonna stick this guy into an assembly, and from the assembly I'll start pulling all of our parts that will get laser cut. So this is basically just going to be my guide, right? This is like the solid that I'm going to work from. But since we're going to laser cut this thing out of MDF, what I got to do is insert new parts into this assembly, new part, and I'll pick a face to work from. So let's say this top face. All right. I selected that face, so that face has become this sketch here. I'm going to select it again and just convert it. Okay. All right, that gave me this rectangle here inside of my sketch. You can see the blue lines there. And I'm also going to select the cutout. Okay. And I'm going to extrude 0.25 inches. And boom. Okay, so like there's our first part, right? And I'm just going to fix that part into space. And then repeat. So new part, front face. I'll go convert that face, and then grab the hole. Convert button. Okay, I've brought that in. 0.25 inches. Extruded. Okay. There's the face of that part there. Fixed. Okay. Now this guy, I can just take and drag another one out into my assembly. That will become the back wall. Right. And I'll finish up my Mates. Go. Now that guy's located. All right, I need a sidewall. Sidewall. Oh, not new assembly. Part. There. Grab that face, convert it, extrude it. Okay, fixed. Same thing. I don't need to draw another part. I'll just drag that over there. And put my mates in place to locate the part, making all those faces coincident. Okay, so that's there. The bottom. Probably really just grab this top panel, right? Put it down there. Nothing wrong with having a little hole in the bottom of the thing. Less parts to inventory, right? Okay. There's the main outside shell. Now we go to work on the inside. Now it's time to like really think about how that is going to work with our lighting. I think I'll notch those. I'll keep them notched. So continue doing the same thing. New part on that face. Okay. If I hide the base component, you'll see how we're starting to build up our structure out of our 1/4-inch sheets. But the edges are interfering, right? That's what I want right now. Right now I want them to interfere with each other, because the second part of this is I'll take and edit one of these parts and start turning these into puzzle pieces, basically, right? So I'll draw a rectangle like that, and I'll repeat that down the face. Mirror it to that corner, and then we'll put another one in the center like that. Okay, so I'm going to cut through the material with those rectangles. Okay. Now you see I've got the start of my little like interlocking puzzle pieces. On the other piece, I go in and edit that part, and my rectangles are going to now be where those tabs are. So I'll do a cut operation, and I'm just going to draw the rectangle around that tab. Rectangle around that tab. Do my cut through the material. And there we go. That. And that's it. So now I have that interlocking edge that once we laser cut these things out, all I got to do is run a little bit of super glue down the edge there and assemble. And as long as I'm careful to make sure that I've got all the edges done like that, you should go together nice and easy. So what I'll usually, like I'll throw some CA, some super glue on these things, put the whole thing together, and then I would go on the inside and usually use some sort of adhesive caulk and just do like a nice fillet, you know, run a bead of caulk down the seam here, and just take a little swipe at it with my finger, make it look nice, and it makes a super solid joint. Not going to come out, you know, you could throw this out the back of the pickup truck and it's not going to explode. It's enough to hold these things together. So kind of how I used to build prototype cabinets when you're trying to, you know, come up with shapes for cabinets really quickly. I kind of did the same thing. Inexpensive material, you can kind of arrive at your solution really quick. Throw it in the laser cutter, so it's super hands off. No fixturing. Throw it in, hit the button, and you're done. The laser, I don't even worry about the kerf of the laser. If I were to do this on the router, I would have to put a gap in between these two parts. Otherwise, they wouldn't fit. They wouldn't go together without a little persuader. But with the laser, at least my lens has about an 8 thou kerf, right? So the cut is like 8 thousandths of an inch wide, and that's just enough clearance that the parts go together tightly, like with barely any slop at all. So you don't have to get a hammer out to pound the thing together. I'm trying to dial in 8 thousandths um, on the calipers here. See if I can put that under the microscope. Where are we? So right there, that's 8 thou. If I bring my finger in there, lovely fingernail. There you can see how wide the cut is on the laser, right? So I don't worry about doing any kind of an offset like I would with the router. I just draw them coincident to each other like that. So, what do you think? Is that will that be a legit little start finish gate for our tiny whoops? I think we paint the thing up gray and we glue a bunch of crap to it. We do some greebling on it, right? And we light up these little panels, and I think that's gonna look awesome flying through there. Can I turn some perspective on my camera? Perspective button there. Oh, it's not a ton of perspective, is it? Helps if I switch my camera. Let's see, modify perspective. Yeah. There we go. That'd be cool. What do you think, Smarky? A legit hanger to fly through as your start finish gate? You're old enough to have seen that movie when it came out in the theaters the first time. It's like our Star Wars style hanger. Except I think for this to be really legit, we got to put like another hole in the floor that you could fall through and die. Yeah, I turned the perspective back off. Okay, there we go. Whew. All right, I think that's probably about it for me for tonight. I am sore and tired from hand mixing concrete all day and digging trenches, so I'm gonna get some rest, and I'm gonna be back at it out in the barn, starting to excavate the rest of the floor for that slab, and I'll button this up. I'll go through and I'll take this model and I'll make all the panels and throw this on the laser, and we can put this guy together, get that out of the way. Another thing to cross off my list for the bando is having a cool start finish gate for the kiddies to see. Also on my list is that awesome kaleidoscope mirror tunnel that Tiny Whoop has at their headquarters. That thing is super awesome, and I think we definitely need one at the bando at the Tiny Whoop track. I think we've got our gates ordered for the rink. Those are going to be more of the multi-GP style stuff out on the Bando rinks, the qualifier track. But the material came in for the actual silo track, gates, and pylons. And that is going to be a unique track, never seen before. And I'm going to shoot some video once we have the jigs and stuff built for the fabrication of that track. So that'll be cool. Stay tuned for that stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna check out for tonight, and you guys pick out a video transmitter for me. All right, pick out a video transmitter for our King of Hearts, and we can get this thing finished. Is that the last thing? Video transmitter. Yes, that's the last thing we need on the quad, and then we can go fly. So, figure out what props. I've got 4-inch props. I got a couple different kinds.
Alexar_ looking forward to the Bando, will be my first exposure to multi-rotor stuff in person.
Oh, cool. Well, keep a heads up in the if you're in the Buffalo Multi-Rotor Facebook group, and we'll have our local races every weekend around town, between Hamburg and wherever other field we end up at. I know we're looking at the Niagara Falls Air Show too, but that'll probably be more whoop stuff. And yeah. So, anyways, that's it for me for tonight. And I'll catch up with everybody this weekend. Hopefully, out on the fields flying. All right. Have a good night, guys. See ya.